Captain V from All Pro. Let's talk fluke fishing, but more specifically, let's talk about color. Does color matter when we're using lures and baits? Well, I'm of the opinion it definitely does, especially around the South Shore of Long Island. But we can't talk color until we talk about water clarity, because one plays into the other. So we're going to keep it simple. We basically have daytime fishing and we have nighttime fishing. We have clear water, we have murky water, and we have stained water. That's basically what we're dealing with. Well, in May, as the water temperatures are around 50 degrees to 54 degrees and starting to get warmer, the water is pretty clear. It's pretty impressive. However, as we get into the late areas of June into July, we can start seeing some stained water going into some serious murky water. And that's because of the heat. It's because of pollutants coming off the mainland, and it will create a different water condition. So we have to adjust. So let's talk about clear water. What's the best baits to use in clear water? Well, your whites are going to always be good. So white is something you need to have during the day, especially in clear water. Your pink shine and your chartreuse are two other colors that are really good and effective in clear water on bright days. Now, there are days that you're going to have cloud covering and it's not going to be bright and sunny. Think of it this way. As the skies get darker, either by cloud covering or the sun setting, you should be changing to either your glows or your darker colors. Some examples: fishing sunrise and fishing the sunset. Your new penny color is absolutely a knockout. Also, nuclear chicken, that's the green and red one. Absolutely a knockout. You will also do good with your pink shine because pink shine glows. Believe it or not, fluke bite in the evening. Now, we don't normally fish for fluke in the evening, but they definitely feed and they're aggressive at night. How do we know that? Besides, sometimes we're catching them at night. One of their main food sources around Long Island, especially in the Back Bay, early on into the summer, is grass shrimp and sand shrimp. And those species of shrimp are very active after sunset. During the day, they actually will go into the sand, into the marshes, and they're somewhat dormant. Come sunset into the evening, the shrimp start to come out. Well, that is all about the fluke right there. That's a smorgasbord, especially on an outgoing tide, because it's pulling that food source out of the marshes, out of the grass, out of the weeds, right into their buffet line. So, clear water, we want to have some of your natural colors, your whites, your pink shine, your chartreuses. As the water starts to get stained a little bit, you will find your glows to be effective. Again, we go back to pink shine because it does glow. Also, you'll find in stained water, this is a good one. This is that salmon. This is like a fluorescent orange. In stained water, it will just pick up any sort of sunlight and be a great backdrop and silhouette. And the fish could pick that up. So if you are in a situation where you have some cloud covering, it's during the day, and you have some stained water, if you have some salmon color plastics or gulp, go for it. Drop it down. See how it works. Now let's go into your murky waters, your darker waters. Now, don't confuse murky, dark, dirty water to nighttime, okay? The dirty water is going to require some brightness. Your dirty water is going to require your glows. Your dirty water is going to require maybe a bright chartreuse. Even though we use chartreuse a lot in clear water, we're talking about stained water. I'm not talking at night now. At night, I wouldn't use chartreuse. But in stained water, I would. And as I mentioned before, your pink shine, your white, your glows, great in the stained water going into your murky water. Once we get into the night, things change. We're now looking for silhouettes, and you're going from one extreme to the other extreme with not much in the middle. So what do I mean by that? We want to go with glows or your blacks and your purples. Those are your evening colors. You'll find that the fish will be able to identify them easier than maybe a chartreuse or let's say a blue color of some kind. The other thing that you may want to pay attention to is matching the hatch that time of year. So for instance, you may not want to use an olive green color with white in the spring. Why? Because that's kind of meant for sand eels. It also, maybe spearing, but we see spearing a little bit more as we get into June and July. The fall is when you're going to see the sand eels come in. So that may be a good time in clear water to match the hatch. I think there's better options early on, like I mentioned before. Your new penny and your pink shine are great for that. If you're fishing deep waters, again, your deep waters, what are they feeding on? They're feeding on squid. So if we could get something that pink shine, once again, that squid has that pink tint to it. Your new penny is another one that can resemble that. I haven't used it much because I'm usually using these two colors, the pink shine and the new penny. But as you get down deeper, again, your glows are working and these brighter colors are working. Now, yes, if you're fishing in the back bay and you know that the bait fish that are currently what they're feeding on right now are shrimp, well, you know what? Go get a gulp shrimp. Again, they make them in new penny, and there's a reason for that. And work a 3-inch or a 4-inch shrimp in the back bay, in the channels, off the marsh washes. That's where you want to go with that. You probably don't want to be using an 8-inch or a 6-inch big grub at that time of year in those conditions. So does color matter? Absolutely it matters. Learn your colors. Captain V, subscribe. You'll get this content every day, new information. If you have a different opinion, hey, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. I will see you on the water. Let's get fishing.